Shirley, and this is another DWIC tip. This is actually number 2 for the ripping of the t-shirts. So this is number 2. For number 1, hope you've tried a couple of those cuts. We only gave you 2 cuts to try. One was we just cut the neck right out of that shirt, right? And that's all we did, and we stretched it, and we had this look. Now, you know, you could cut it a little bit deeper if you wanted to. And then we did the neckline with just a little fringes, and cut fringes like that. Now today I'm going to just show you a couple of cuts for the sleeves. And one, you've probably guessed, is to just do your sleeve the very same way you did your neck. You're just going to go through and cut. Now, on the sleeves, they're not quite the same as the neck, but you'll see you've got 2 seams, and you want to cut to the first seam. That's going to give it about as deep as you want, about as deep as the neck, without leaving that unfinished edge to then kind of stretch out of the way and unravel. So you want to cut just to that. Well, now when I say the first seam, sometimes it's hard to tell which is first depending on what direction you're going. So there's one here and one here. Now when I say the first one that's closest to the inside of the shirt, that's the one we're going to use first. That's the one you're going to cut up to that one. Just snip, snip, snip around. And I hope you can see a little better than in the last video. You couldn't see the shirts too well, so I was trying to make it a little more easy for you to see the shirts this time around. But you can see I've just cut to that shirt, and I've not gone through that seam. You don't want to cut that second seam. Now, the other cut for sleeves, that is, and I hate to use the word easy because anything's easy if you know how to do it, right? So we don't want to get into easy and hard, but I'm going to just show you. You can cut the hem off of the sleeve like so. Remember, it's always better to make single cuts around as opposed to trying to do both sides at one time. Unless you're working on something and you want that appearance, you'll make sure they're exactly the same. Then you might want to put them together and cut them at the same time. But for this, we're going to just cut the sleeve right out of there, like so. Okay. And then what we're going to do is take and measure the side of this shirt so that you make sure you get the top of the shirt. And sometimes, depending on your t-shirts, they don't always fold right on the seam, so you want to look at that and make sure you've got it folded right on the top seam there. And then what you're going to do is just cut it. Just cut right into that seam. Just cut right up there. You can cut all the way to that seam there if you like. And you've got this open look. Then you're going to just stretch it. Just stretch that out. And when you put it on, you can see you have that kind of a loose hang effect. Now, you might want to consider even cutting off a little bit of the shirt so you have a little bit less sleeve there to hang. The other thing, once you stretch this out, is you can take and stretch out the other end as well. And then you're going to just take and knot it right here at the end. Just tie a little knot in there, like so. If you can see that I'm tying the knot, right? Just knot it. And when you're finished, you see, you've got this kind of a look. You've got this kind of a look. Okay? Now, the thing when you're making t-shirts, like I'm making it here on the table, often the better way to do is to, when you do something, you can try your shirt on, and then you kind of get the feeling for how it looks. Like I tied this knot here, and now the knot is on the inside. But if I were to put this shirt on, you see, I really want that knot to be on the outside. So I'm going to have to turn this around and tie it like this instead. You see how I did that? And then I tied it and it went on the inside. I don't want it on the inside. I want the knot, the decorated knot, so that the ties are on the outside of the sleeve. So I'm going to just turn that around and do that like so. You see? And just whoops, 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 got to knot it. And you could cut your little strings, but I'm just going to knot this just like it is. And see what we have here. Okay? Yeah, you see? So that the knot is on the outside so that it looks more decorative, right? As opposed to being on the inside and hidden. So that's just a couple of cuts now for the sleeves. So next time, we're going to do something, a couple more cuts. And remember, we're taking this a step at a time, so experiment. Now, you know you don't want to cut up your best t-shirts, so you might, even if you go to like Value World, or I don't want to you know, advertise for anybody, but anywhere that you can get old t-shirts for almost nothing, then you have a lot of them to kind of play around with and get some ideas. And incidentally, if you make up one that you think is really terrific and you'd like for us to see it, please don't hesitate. Take a picture of it, send it to me on Facebook, on our Facebook page, DWIC Hustle Class Facebook page. And we'd love to share it with everybody. Okay, see you next time. Bye. Oh, did I say this is Shirley? Anyway, this is Shirley. See you next time. Bye now.